In this video, there's a lot to talk about with Gotham Knights and its families, previous families, history, etc. Each character in this game must have a specific role to play. Barbara Gordon at the GCPD, Red Hood, Robin, Nightwing, etc. Nightwing has a deeper story that I found in the comics. If you want to read this comic, it is the Batman Court of the Owls comic, which dives deeply into Bruce Wayne's history, his family's history, along with Nightwing's history. In this video, I do show imagery that do not belong to me. They belong to the artist of those comics, which I do not take any copyright claims, along with music and stuff that I do use in this video that did not belong to me. So I'm looking back on my last video. I see that you guys really enjoyed the videos I make, especially the Gotham Knights one. I do terribly apologize for the lack of videos in the past almost month. Just a lot of stuff going on. If you guys have any new suggestions on videos, just let me know in the comment section down below. I am open for suggestions. I want to make my channel a lot better and a lot more growth. I don't really upload much is because of lack of ideas. So if you guys have any ideas on fan theories, I really appreciate it. Now, one thing I want to emphasize before I continue on to the video is that this is all just a theory. These are all theories and good story arcs and story building ideas that I've come up with. I do really hope that they implement them into the game. It will give the game much more character depth than I've already previously thought, and would make the story much more interesting. So without further ado, I'll begin on with the video. In the Gotham Knights game, the information that they've given us is very little about the map, the story, the families, what the 5 boroughs mean, etc. One day I was just reading the Batman Court of Owls comic, and it just occurred to me, what if Nightwing had this same story that he did in the comic books? In the comic books, they dive really deep into Bruce Wayne and Nightwing's history specifically, just because they had a different or a really big role to play, just as much as they would have in Gotham Knights. It seems that Batman's role in Gotham Knights is also affecting the characters in a way, to the point where it's actually driven the characters' motives, etc. That's mainly just speculation, just because Bruce Wayne is Batman, Batman created the Bat family, etc. So with Nightwing's story in this, it's actually interesting to see the character depth that he has in the comics, and that's something I wonder that they'll add in the game. I'm not entirely sure if they will add in the game. Again, this is all theories. It's just I found this and I'm really excited to go over it. To those who didn't know, one of the talons of the Court of Owls was previously Dick Grayson's grandfather. Dick Grayson's grandfather was one of the talons recruited by the Court of the Owls. The Court of the Owls finds people on the street and takes them in and trains them to be mindless soldiers for the court. This also happened to Dick Grayson's great-grandfather. This was a family tradition that led into a chain of talent creation, etc., because of how the court operates. So then they try to recruit Nightwing. Nightwing refuses and fights the court alongside Batman. But this wouldn't exactly work, since Batman in this game is supposedly dead. Batgirl would have a big influence on this game, especially because of her connection to the GCPD. The GCPD has been corrupted by the Court of Owls, as far as we know, especially after seeing this symbol on the GCPD logo, or the GCPD badge, where normally it's supposed to be an eagle, but then we look in the trailer, we see an owl on top of it. Even in the trailer, shows a lot about the game, but we don't know for sure. Again, this is just all theories. I believe, stemming from his background along with Bruce Wayne's, he would have a bigger role to play. I'll go into more depth along with this further, but he would have the biggest role to play, especially due to his history and his family's history with being a Talon. I don't exactly know how this would factor out, but it might pertain to Batman's death and how Dick Grayson might be taking his death. So Nightwing and Batgirl might have a bigger picture to play in this game. I'm not entirely sure, but that is all I know for now. Batgirl is not the main focus of this video. If you want a video pertaining to Batgirl and her story, what I think about her story, drop it down in the comment section below, along with other ideas. But Nightwing would be the main factor, since he has history in the Court of Owls besides Bruce Wayne. Sadly, in this game, I don't think we'll be seeing an heir to the cowl, especially since Batman is supposedly dead. I don't think that there will be Red Hood trying to take over the cowl along with Nightwing, Batgirl, or Red Hood. This is specifically a Gotham Knights game. This is just supposed to emphasize the Gotham Knights, not necessarily them becoming Batman. Their road to becoming the Gotham Knight would mainly be just them stepping up to the mantle of what Batman stood for: hope, justice, and vengeance. That's something that we would most likely see, not necessarily heir to the cowl, which is something I really wish we would see in the game. We don't have much to connect Batman and Nightwing. The only thing that is connecting these two characters in any continuation of this storyline, as far as we know of, is Gotham's main families. Gotham's main families all coexist as members and founding members of the Court of Owls. For hundreds of years in Gotham's origin, these families, the Cobblepots, the Kanes, the Waynes, the Elliots, and the Crowns, were all at the center of Gotham City. These people have made Gotham City what it was, especially stemming from the court. Many have been a part of the court, and many have still even controlled the court. That's the only thing that are connecting these two characters. And here is why. Not much I can go over about these five families in Gotham City. These five families could possibly have taken over certain boroughs of Gotham City, since the game developers have said that this is split up in 5 boroughs. I've also got some of this information from another video. If you'd like to check it out, it'll be in the description below. Also, this video, especially about the 5 families, has already been created. If you'd like to make a trip to that channel, it'll be in the description below. And this is a main topic about Dick Grayson and his origin. Dick Grayson's origins may be more surprising than you think. We all know that Dick Grayson grew up in Haley's Circus. His parents were the Flying Graysons, which were killed by many people: Tony Zuko, Two-Face, etc. It's just different storylines have changed up the story. In this comic book, Batman the Court of Owls, before they were the Graysons, before they were the Flying Graysons, before they were acrobats, this family in particular was families of Gotham City. They weren't one of the main families of Gotham City. If that were true, just correct me down in the comments. But they weren't one of the main families as far as my knowledge knows. This family was called the Cobbs. The Cobbs were originally a not very popular family in Gotham City. They were a very smaller family. I'm not entirely sure. I'd have to look back on that. But one of the Court of Owls had found one of the Cobbs. This Cobb, I don't exactly remember his name. If you guys remember his name or find his name, just tell me in the description below. But they find him and recruit him as a Talon. This Talon then works for the court and then is killed due to the court's methods. Court's methods didn't exactly work as it did today. Their methods didn't exactly make people stay alive for very much longer than they would. So this evidently turned to his death. As generations went on, they changed their name and went to Haley's Circus, where they became the Graysons, and then became acrobats, which became the Flying Graysons, which then all leads into Dick Grayson's origin. They then found Dick Grayson somehow, which I'm not exactly sure of, which I'll have to look back on in just a second. But they found their way back to Dick Grayson and found him as one of the ancestors of their lost talents and try to recruit him. It doesn't exactly work out their way. Strongest connection between Nightwing and Batman in this game that we know of so far, or possibly know of, or could be true possibly, would be Batman and Nightwing's family history. There hasn't been much said about the Waynes' deep involvement in Gotham's creation. The Waynes were always the White Knights of Gotham City, lifting up its citizens, stemming away from crime and corruption. But what if the Waynes were actually the creators, or at least one of them, for the court? It's been expressed in this comic book that Bruce Wayne's grandfather, Alan Wayne, tried to stop the court and was killed. There was a man in this comic that Bruce got close to and claimed to be Bruce Wayne's brother, separated at childbirth from Thomas and Martha Wayne. What if these theories are true? The corruption of the court has grown exponentially from its first creation. While using a member of the Wayne family, they can pull in Dick Grayson. These are all theories, so just take this with a very, very, very small grain of salt. But this story can be amazing. Going back to the original Court of Owls, the Waynes could have been a huge hand, or possibly even created it. but corruption got too bad. This doesn't even seem too much of a stretch, considering Batman's death. If you've gotten this far, I really hope you do enjoy the video. I am terribly sorry for the lack of videos I've been making. I haven't been making much videos, again, because of lack of video ideas. If you guys have any new ideas for videos, just let me know in the description below. I do take a lot of time on these videos, again, I've emphasized in this video. I do appreciate the extra 20 subs I got from the last video. That really meant a lot to me, and it really meant that you guys are enjoying the Gotham Knights content. If you guys want any more Gotham Knights content, give me suggestions in the description below. Comment saying that yes, you want more Gotham Knights content, and I will be handing out new content if you guys would like that. I'm really open to suggestions. I will make any video you guys like. If it stems away from the normal DC stuff like that, I don't do Marvel. That's not my thing. But yeah. So anyway, guys, I hope you guys all enjoyed the video. That was it for me. I am BOG, or Bad at Gotham. Peace out, and see you guys in the next video, however long that will be. Bye, guys.